Hi, Gaël, and welcome to the Green New Perspective Spotlight. So, can you share a bit about your background and what inspired you to start Mission Zero Tech?
Sure. My background is a chemist. I did my university degree in electrochemistry. I was fascinated by the way that carbon dioxide has the potential to be transformed into different types of chemicals. I love the idea of looking at research that could find ways of transitioning humanity's dependence away from fossil fuels. So I did both my master's, my PhD in CO2 conversion, and that was basically the beginning of my journey into carbon capture. It was after my PhD that I joined a venture builder called Deep Science Ventures. And there they gave me the chance to understand and learn how to build a company and define what that company should be. And it was there that, I was really interested in converting CO2, but it was at Deep Science Ventures that I realized actually the bigger problem is how we get CO2 in the first place. And so that basically started my journey into Mission Zero.
And can you tell me a bit more about your technology? How does it operate? And how does it contribute to mitigating global warming?
The inspiration for the technology actually came from looking at the way biology handles carbon dioxide. CO2 has this special ability among all the gases in the air to react with water and alkaline solutions to form carbonates and bicarbonates. And from there, we saw there were lots of different technologies that could manage the movement of these ions, similar ways, at least in analogy to the way that the body moves CO2 from your muscles and respires it from the lungs. So our technology begins with what we call the air contactor, which is a big box where there is a shower of liquid being sprayed across all these high surface area materials. And then at the same time, air is being blown through this contactor, and the carbon dioxide from the air dissolves and is absorbed by the liquid. That liquid, which is now rich in CO2, is then transferred to another stage. And in that stage, those carbonate and bicarbonate ions are moved across a membrane into another liquid where it is unstable as carbonate and bicarbonate and immediately decomposes back into gas. And the great part of this process, or an important part of this membrane, is that it will only move those carbonate and bicarbonate ions. And so you're able to produce pure CO2 out of this second stage. And both of these stages happen concurrently. They both happen at the same time. So on one hand, we're continuously moving air, continuously absorbing CO2. And on the other side of the process, we're continuously producing a pure stream of carbon dioxide.
And did you had any challenges while developing the tech and placing it on the market?
The concept originally was about carbonates and bicarbonates. And in our first year, we tested many different ways of doing it. And so I was there in the lab prototyping and trying different types of chemistry. And we made lots of pivots in that first year because we started from just a base of concepts. And so we had to prove which ones were the most viable. And actually, even halfway through a major project that we had gained government funding for, again, I decided to make a shift in our pilot plant design mid-stage because I realized if we made the shift now, it might have been painful in the first couple of months, but it was going to be much better for our ultimate pilot plant that we were designing at the time. So, lots of challenges in the lab because there are so many different variables to test. And at the beginning, you don't know which are more sensitive to impacting the performance of the technology. So, one of the big challenges is just managing all the trade-offs. Is it better to increase your concentrations of solvent? Is it better to run it with this amount of energy or that amount of energy? The whole supply chain to navigate as well. We've made a technology where everything that is in the plant you can buy from a number of different vendors around the world, but then the question comes to, well, which do you select? And so we've had to test dozens of different vendors for different membranes and finding out which are most compatible with our process. And that's been quite a journey because you have to build up a lot of knowledge before you can make a good decision And so that involves, weeks and weeks of testing for a single membrane.
And since we're a marketing agency, I have to ask a marketing question. So, has marketing
Mm.
played a role in introducing your tech and positioning yourself in this highly competitive market?
Massively. One of the most important hires we've made is a marketing and branding lead in the company. And at the time, some engineers in the company might have said something like, "Don't we just need more engineers?" And but marketing your product is as important as designing the product itself. And so making sure that we're communicating to not just the familiar audiences, but the less familiar audiences to DAC is really important, and positioning ourselves, spreading what we've learned to as many people as possible, because DAC is a growing field. We can we're kind of like fish in the sea in DAC, and we don't appreciate how it's niche it really still is. It feels like it's such a big thing, but you go out, you speak to journalists, and there's so many people who still need to be informed and to learn about this space for it to gain credibility and earn its rightful place as part of our toolkit of solutions towards climate change.
Yeah, I have to say, I was surprised. I read it today on LinkedIn, I think, and I was surprised to read that one of the most wanted positions in the climate tech space is the marketing position, marketing manager, sales, things like that. I have to say I was surprised because I didn't expect that. I know how in the clean tech space everyone is, like you said, focusing on engineering part of the job and less on the marketing side. But I guess that there's a shift. Marketing is getting more and more competitive, and well, you need people from the marketing space to sell your products. Well, since this is a short conversation, can you tell me where people can find you, learn more about Mission Zero and your tech, and well, reach out if they want to collaborate with you?
Our website is missionzero.tech, TECH. You'll find links to all the articles that we write on there, as well as descriptions of our projects and our story. On LinkedIn, we also publicize everything that we're doing and writing about. So you can find us on LinkedIn. We also have a Twitter account. Yeah, and of course, just reach out to me or anyone in this senior leadership team. So my name is Gaël, Gael, at missionzero.tech, and my co-founders, Shill and Nick, um, have their other email addresses to that way. So yeah, we're always really interested to people reach out from different commercial disciplines, from technical, looking at different conferences, thinking about policy. But we really welcome anyone to reach out if they have something that they'd like to work on or share or offer.
Thank you for watching New Perspective Spotlight series. If you like our content, please consider subscribing to our social media channel and follow our podcast on your favorite streaming platform. Thanks.